Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to share with you this new story about military activities of the United States in the South Pacific. So again, the United States continues with its provocations in the South China Sea. This time the US sailed a warship near the Chinese-controlled Paracel Island on the South China Sea. And so what they are doing here is they are doing these activities that they call the freedom of navigation operations. So they do this as often as possible, and they do this in a very aggressive way because they are sailing warships. It's not civilian warships, it's military operations, and they do this not only with ships, but they do it also with airplanes, military airplanes. And what they are doing is basically they are infringing on the territorial waters of China. So China declares that these islands belong to them, and the United States decides unilaterally to deny the claim and to provoke some kind of reaction from China, because let's remember that the United States has no interest in this area. So it is just a provocation because it's beyond the US mainland, far beyond the US mainland. So it has no right to do this, but they still do it. And the basic principle is that they claim that these islands don't belong to China, and that's the way to declare it. Instead of using diplomatic means, they do it with the military. And of course they are not recognizing the claims of China. That's why they are doing this. Additionally, the 7th Fleet announced that the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan and its strike group are now operating in the South China Sea. The 7th Fleet said the strike group is conducting maritime security operations, which include flight operations with fixed and rotary wing aircraft, maritime strike exercises, and coordinated tactical training between surface and air units. So it is. This is customary. This is something the United States has done repeatedly and continues to infringe on the sovereign rights of China, denying it the claims for the island. I just continue to say that it is more provocations from the United States, but this is nothing new. The United States has done similar things in other parts of the world. So it's a tradition of the United States to provoke conflict everywhere in the world, and this is just one more example of this example of these such actions. So originally the Paracel Islands are located in this area of the Pacific and are officially disputed by China and Vietnam, and apparently Taiwan also has claims for the island. I don't know exactly why. Taiwan is very far here. Anyway, it seems like officially China, Taiwan, and Vietnam have claims for this island. But China is currently occupying them. There are some Chinese settlements in some of these islands, so it is that's how China is doing it. This is some kind of zoom in to the area, and for some reason this photo has only English names for the islands. I don't know exactly why, but probably is the translation for the Chinese names. Some of the islands are very small, and they don't have really settlements there. And I have here an article that uses some information about this so-called freedom of navigation and how the United States is conducting it. So just wanted to highlight some parts of it. Basically, the United States Freedom of Navigation Program is an operational challenge against excessive maritime claims, what they consider excessive maritime claims, And the United States demonstrates its resistance to excessive maritime claims, and this program challenges what the US considers to be excessive territorial claims on the world's oceans and airspace. So that's why they don't just go with vessels, but also with airplanes. And the US Armed Forces have conducted these freedom of navigation operations in areas claimed by other countries, but considered by the US to be international waters. So this is, again, unilateral, is the US deciding in a very arbitrary way that they don't recognize the claims of a state. And the United Nations Law of the Sea does not specifically mention freedom of navigation for warships outside of the high seas. So the high seas are areas that are beyond internal waters. The internal waters are the 12 miles that are closest to the territory of a particular state. So what the United States is doing is denying that these islands belong to China, and they are denying that it belongs to anyone. Basically, they say don't belong to anyone, and this is international waters. That's the claim, but of course is a very absurd claim. Here is, of course, some criticism about it. They say these operations are unnecessarily risky and can lead to escalation. They are unnecessary, and states should focus on the protection of their own ships rather than using ship operations to check other states' maritime claims. And not only that, but they are ineffective at their goal of limiting other states' maritime claims. But that doesn't stop the United States from doing these kind of things. And here are some stories about previous operations that the United States has done. And here we have the definition of what is international waters. It's an informal term which most often refers to waters beyond the territorial sea. In other words, international waters is used as an informal synonym for the more formal term high seas. And this is an article that basically defines that since 1996, China has claimed that Paracel Island belonged to China, but the United States is denying this and continues to do this kind of operations in this area. So that's all. Just more of the same continues, these provocations. I hope they won't escalate, but it seems like the United States is very interested in escalating this. I think it is the United States' attempt to challenge China's rise to power in the international arena, and they just cannot take it, and they want to put it down. That's why I think they want this conflict with China. That's what they want. They prefer to go to war than to allow China to rise. That's my opinion. Anyway, let me know what you think about it, and as always, I ask you to please like this video, share it in social media, and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.